Hello and welcome to episode 46 of our Timberborn Update 7 Folktails Hard Mode playthrough here, cycle 55, day 2, in a temperate cycle. And last time we started construction of the Earth Recultivator, got a big old tower built out of what was previously a slightly smaller tower, and now we have a beautiful location in the middle of the map for the vast majority of our beavers to not be in range of the Earth Recultivator. But it looks cool. And sometimes that's half the battle. So we're going to let them continue working on that, but there are a few other things we want to take care of today as we approach the end of this series. A little bit of optimization, a little bit of fun, a little bit of finally closing this in, and boy, am I ready for that to happen. But very first thing, I wanted to go ahead, I asked you guys last time how you thought about putting a little bit of an overflow sluice in here, and overwhelmingly, the response was positive, so I feel like it is probably a good idea for us to go ahead and get that rocking and rolling. All we're going to do is put in probably just 2 sluices right here. Very, very simple. And then we just have to come in here with our tunnel bits and pop that way. So, for the time being, they're probably not going to get to that super quickly. I do think it's still accessible, or it should be. It might be a very, very long walk, but it should theoretically be possible for them to get over here. If I click on this, it says it's too far, so maybe... Okay, we did disconnect some stuff, but that will be somewhat easily remedied by just, doing that. They might have to walk a long way, but we have 395 of them. I think it's going to be okay. But the idea, of course, is to combine these two together so that all of the extra water coming through here, instead of necessarily all of it flowing through this as fast as it has been, it can flow through the main channel here and then go into our main reservoir, which has been a little bit lower than I would prefer, but we haven't run out of water. We've been fine. I say as this says this is on its way to depletion in more than 99 days. So, draining is draining no matter how slow. So, like I said, we're going to let them take care of that. We'll get this going here. Look at these guys go. They're all like kind of going at the same tempo here. But it always takes a really long time to get this thing built. There's a set amount of work that can be performed, a maximum amount of builders, etc., so on and so forth. So, we're going to let them do that, but I wanted to let you guys know I've installed and updated the fabulous Flywheels mod by our very own Battery Smooth. So, we are going to incorporate flywheels as not a complete replacement, but, a little bit of an improvement over having so many gravity batteries everywhere. You peel back our land here, and what do we have inside? We have a lot of gravity batteries that have actually done pretty well. But we can definitely get rid of these, make this look a little bit nicer, and we can put these things in somewhere. We will get there. When we get there, we'll just take time. We've got some more maple trees. These guys are in the process of making the syrup, which is being used for the catalyst, and we have not had more than 10 or 20 catalyst in storage for, a really long time. So we just kept adding more and more of these maple seedlings. They will take time to grow. It always does. So that is just how that is going to be. Someone said in the comments that they would like for me to put another level on top of our farm here. And while I'm not completely opposed to that, I need you guys to understand that if that happens, it's going to take me a long time to figure out how to do that. Because, we have all these trees planted here, and I'm going to have to remember how I did all my math, and then so on and so forth. It was a lot of work to try and get this thing built the first time, and I'm going to have to go back and remember that. But if enough of you guys want to see it, then I guess we could probably do it. But that's not going to be super, super high on my priority list. Let's go ahead and get this in at triple speed here. But I do want to go and check, see if they've blasted this out yet. It does not look like the answer to that question is yes. So everything's going to be A-okay. Since the last time this was filled up, we do have this sluice open now, which is going to be, I guess, just kind of always open, so this can't flow back into this. But this dam right here is going to raise the height of this exit just a tiny bit. We're also going to have the overflow coming through here, so I don't think we're going to run into too many flooding problems like we had talked about in the past. But everything should be looking pretty good here. We might want to raise this, might want to raise that. I don't know. We got some time to figure it out. Let's go ahead and check in, see. It still says it's too far. Seriously? Seriously? I know we connected this. I know this is connected. Wait a second. Oh, I can't see it because this... Okay. Yeah, that ladder, which is connected to, you know, absolutely nothing, is also blocking. So, now it's ugly, and it works. How many times have I heard that one? But I digress. Now this should finally be in range, and we can let these guys take care of stuff. It is what it is. You know how it goes. So, they're continuing to work on that. I identified last episode or 2 episodes ago, I don't know. One of these little groups of trees was not marked for cutting. It is now. Of course, we've built these rather lovely housing complexes here and equipped them with a variety of amenities. And those are looking pretty good. There might be a little bit more we can do up here, but I'll let you guys drive the bus on that, so to speak. The big thing that is probably going to, you know, dominate most of the time that we are not spending talking in this episode is, you know, just taking care of all this stuff, moving it out of the way, and closing the rest of this wall in finally, which is going to mean that all of our metal processing is going to be relocated. But it's not going to be that big of a deal because we do have all of these zip lines right here. This one, of course, connects to here, which connects to here with a little bit of a transfer, which then goes here, which then goes here, and then all of this is here. Or they can take this one. There's a bunch of different options, and of course we can get these guys connected to other routes as well. And I don't have any of these connected here because this wasn't connected there, and you know, it's just a whole thing. But this is going to be really convenient for us getting this drought coming in here, because that means there's not going to be any bad water over here, so we're not going to have to worry about flooding anything. It's just going to be nice and quiet and dry over here. But that does also give us a little bit more of a need to get this filled up. Let's see, have they blasted these out yet? They have not. Still very, very slow, beavers. Bots, rather. But now they can actually, you know, take care of stuff. Very good. Very good. So these are going to be connected, and it is going to end up being a little bit of an issue. You might have noticed that these are technically separate heights. This is higher. And yes, that is true. However, in the event that this does overtop, then it'll just go through here. All we have to do is fill in a couple little gaps and probably raise this sluice 1 block. Should not be an issue. We did talk about that a little bit earlier, how that was going to have to be dealt with, but, you know, all in time. All in time. Just going to let them do what they have to do. I think, yeah, just put one of these right here should be fine, but I'll do 2 pieces. Actually, let's see what height on that is. That's 12. This is 11, so yes. Okay, that's exactly what I was looking at. So now this is actually, rather ironically, being not what I wanted. Oh, I failed once again to do correct preparation on this stuff. I swear this is not on purpose. Let's, sheesh. Let's go ahead and get these sluices in place. Probably should just always have these be open as one-way overflows. Just let them do what they gotta do. Get these things in here. We still have 2 days. I mean, it's not like we're, you know, running out of water. Things have been very, very good here, and this is still reasonably, not completely, but reasonably full to the degree that we would expect to see. Hey, look! This is already at 41%. I love watching them build this stuff. I probably should have just time-lapsed the entire build of this so we could see all the different segments coming together, but we've seen that a bunch of times. This is playthrough, well, this is playthrough 25. Technically, we're on 27, but I digress. We've done at least a few of the Folktails since we got the big old monuments. So this is going out now. This is actually probably going to overtop because I've restricted the flow a little bit more. But Life goes on. Everything is fine. I'm not going to take this sluice gate out yet. One, because it's a drought. Two, because if I really wanted to, I could just put another sluice on top of it and just set it to the same height thing. But there's no point in closing that now because this is just going to, you know, flood stuff. Is what it is. I don't think they can access this. Easiest way for us to get up there is just to put in an additional lag. Put in an additional path. Bring it up here with some these things, ladders. And then they'll be able to build both of those. Should not be an issue in the slightest. Just very, very simply take care of stuff and be good to go. So I will do that. Get that hooked up. Should be good. 1.3 days remain. How are we looking here? Hey, they got another one of these things here. Now it says 50%. So I guess I should probably decide if I want to set this off this episode or wait until the very last one. Because it's not really in range of that many beavers. There are a few. You click on this thing. There's a few beavers who live here, but you know, most of them are kind of outside the bounds of that. Oh, I also said in the comments that we're going to fix our stranded beavers. Well, the stranded bots. They somehow managed to get themselves down here. And I think one of them has, you know, run out of durability and broken down. But the good news is, it is very simple for us to go in here and rescue these guys with just a little bit of ladder right here. Just get that built. And they'll get reintegrated into the bot workforce and everything will be just fine. You guys have had various ideas about what I should do here with different decorations or stuff. I also wanted to raise the possibility, I believe the dam decoration mod and all of the accessory mods that go with that does work in Update 7. So there's a bunch of different, you know, I almost said flavors. Well, I did just say flavors. Shapes and a couple different finishes for levee blocks that have different slopes and heights and all that. That might look kind of neat to put in conjunction with all of this. So if you'd like to see that, let me know. That is obviously something we can look forward to doing if you guys want to see it. And, okay, that's not coming out anymore. That's looking good. We've got half a day left. Still plenty more to get done here. This is about ready to overtop here, but it might not. It might actually let us get away with that. Okay, can they not reach this? No, they can. They're just busy doing other stuff, and that's fine. Yeah, there we go. Very good. Very good. Just little bits and pieces here and there. And we'll get this all closed off as well. Then that should finally, once we get to where we need to get, take care of that. I'm also going to, well, I guess I should wait until the water goes down a little bit, but I'm going to have to take these blockages out, or at least a few of them out, so I can increase the height here. So probably what's going to be easiest, actually, is I don't even have to wait. I can just take these out here, and I can just put up two blocks of dirt without actually letting any water out. That sounds like a winning strategy to me. Yeah, we'll just... I forgot I had this set up here. So we'll just do that. How long is our drought going to be? Let's find out. 26 days. Alright, cool. We can live with that. Nothing we haven't done before. 67%. Still need some treated planks. So I guess that is where our process is going to grind to a screeching halt for a little bit while we attempt to make treated planks. We need another 600 of those. And I feel like these aren't really... Yeah, okay. we need another 600. And how many of these do I have? I have 4. And every 3 hours, they make 1. So every 3 hours, they make 4 of these. And we need 600, which is... Well, you can do the math on that. 150 cycles of this, so... That's a lot of waiting for stuff. And also... Yeah, it's because we're waiting on pine resin. But we still have some that's not being harvested that quickly. Okay, well, Interesting, interesting. We had the industrial capacity, but not the pine tree capacity. Maybe it wasn't a smart choice, after all, to get rid of some of these. But yeah, you can see there's like, I don't know, 25% of these still not harvested. This guy can reach. Yeah, actually, you know, these tapper shacks can all reach. Except this one can't reach that guy. We know that's a thing. This gatherer flag cannot gather anything with the flag, so why is that there? Why is that there? Oh no, that's for the chestnuts. How could I possibly forget? How could I possibly forget about the chestnuts? I got 2 of these guys, and they got... okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Do we ever... almost at 72%. I love watching this stuff. It's just fun. Well, at any rate, we'll come back and check on that. I just wanted to see that is looking good there. Of course, you know, this will continue to flow out and fill up this thing, except for the stuff that's, you know, going out the end of the map. And then once this goes down, then we'll adjust this a little bit. But we can continue just putting in a little bit of this. Looks like that one is done. Just little bits and pieces. All right, let's talk about what's going on here, because we have kind of a mess. It is connected to the power grid, but we've got all these windmills. We've got these water wheels. We've got this whole mess. We've got these gravity batteries. See, none of this matters because it's all going to go away. All we have to do is make sure everything gets sealed up nicely. We can still have stuff over here. We can have power come through the side of the wall, whatever. But this mess can go away. We don't have to have all of the smelters moved over here. And in fact, I'd probably prefer they all stay in this one spot because it's a whole lot easier to just have the haulers take the metal blocks than all the ingredients and all that other stuff. So, seeing how we have 1,200 metal blocks, I'm going to go ahead and say, wow, that lag. Time to get rid of that. Just get rid of all this. Don't need to worry about it at all. Just come get all your little bits and pieces of stuff. This whole thing can get removed here. This whole tower can get removed. Get everything nice and cleaned up. Should not be a big deal at all. Oh yes. Should I use the delete tool? Probably. Am I going to? No. I might in a little bit because this is actually getting kind of annoying. But all we have to do now is keep in mind that this was 2 blocks wide here because this is where the buildings were built. All of this... yeah, okay, I'm definitely using the delete tool. The demolish buildings tool, rather. It's all going away. It's all going to get completely straightened out. Nice and simply. Nothing to worry about. Just grab all of our stuff here. Okay, what is in this before I get rid of this? Catalyst. Of course there's no catalyst in here. Okay. But that is going to have to go away. So that is a simple thing for us to do. This all can go away because we have terraforming. Oh yeah, punch cards, no chance. No chance we were going to have any punch cards here. The one thing that we're going to have to adjust for is our 6 wide wall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is going to encroach upon this. So what I'm going to say we're going to do instead is just for these spaces here, we're going to indent the wall just a touch. Just a touch. We'll put these things in here, and then we'll give them, I guess, just this much right here, and then we'll have that come back in. Make that look a little bit better, just like so. And then, of course, all of the bad water stuff can just come straight out the side like this. We don't even need to really worry about it. I can just blast that there, since, you know, we're not going to use it to generate any power, because everything is going to be totally fine once we fix a lot of this stuff. Not going to have much to worry about whatsoever. We're still out supplying demand. Keep in mind, there's going to be 6 more of these smelters put in, which is another 1,200 HP. But we're currently generating another 1,600. And that's without the windmills that are here. So I think we can pretty safely say that is good to go. Not going to worry about any of the rest of that mess. It's just here. So in fact, we could just have this go straight out in this exact spot here. Probably would be a little bit easier to do that, and then we wouldn't have to worry about quite so much stuff. And you see this big empty space here? I got some ideas. These flywheels, I love this so much. This large vertical, large horizontal frame flywheel. This is a 3-block wide device with an axle in the center, and it contains a flywheel. If you have not had the pleasure of ever witnessing this in action, then we'll definitely show you a little bit later on. Obviously, we have to have the treated planks to be able to build these, and those are currently all going up to our Earth Recultivator, which is 78% complete. Still waiting on, you know, another 550 of the of the treated planks, so that's definitely going to take a while. It's going to be what it's going to be, and there's not much else we can do about it, but all the other pieces are there, and that's looking good. But all that to say, this being set up this way is actually going to be very, very good for power storage, because there's no liquid going in here. I don't have to, I don't think I have to really maintain. I'm not going to take these out, because these are already here. They're hidden, and they also are, they're charging during a drought. See, I told you we're good. But I really like these things. So I figured it would be smart just to go ahead and pop some stuff in here. So what I'm going to have to do is, because of the way this is laid out, I'm not going to be able to really get away with too much here. I don't think I can place these. Yeah, I'm going to have this top bit taken out, or I just put in a bunch of ladders. But, you know, I've done that before, and I'll do it again. That's fine. Just let them take care of that. I'm going to bury a couple of those large frame flywheels there, and then I'm going to make a little... I'm so tired of hearing that rotating noise. I'm going to make a little display piece for one of these other guys somewhere, because I just love this. It looks so cool, and it rotates so quickly. So, you know, you can just kind of suspend this somewhere and just watch it go around and around and around and around. And it's got these like gears in the middle. Forgive my ignorance if this is the incorrect term, but my mind firstly goes to like planetary gear systems or whatever. But it's probably wrong. It just looks so cool. I love it so much. But I digress. We do need to go ahead and continue boxing this in. Just the real easy way is to do 2 at a time. Come up from there. I do think I'm going to have this just go straight out here. So let's pop this back down again. And, of course, we're going to do our tunnel bits here. I'm going to also have this come out like so. And we're probably going to end up making this a 5-wide exit, because there's a lot of stuff going to come out of here. So we'll just let them do what they got to do with that, and then I'll come back in. I'll put some ladders to act as the shields or whatever that people wanted to have in that other spot there. How are we looking here? Okay, another 505. I told you it was going to take a while. But it looks like... okay, still letting some water out. Actually, no, this isn't flowing anymore. Okay, so let's go ahead. Before I forget, because you know that is absolutely bound to happen. Okay, I'm not going to wait for them to come pick that up. Let's just do... do I have coverage there? I think I do. Okay. I'll put that there. I'll put that there. And then this, since we're going to be diverting water, is going to shut off at the downstream depth of, I guess... Well, probably should be about the same as the dam here, because this is going to be about 0.65. But I'm going to say... because we do want a little bit of this to come out this way. I guess we could just leave this here at 0.65. I may have made a terrible mistake making this a sluice instead of just a dam. In fact, yeah, you know what? It's going to have to be a dam. It's going to have to be a dam. Yeah, that just makes sense, because, you know, the rest of it's going to come out this way. That's fine. That's fine. I apologize in advance, but we didn't build it, so it's totally fine. Now this is just going to be what it's going to be, and it will only spill out here when there's extra, but we're not going to be drawing anything out of here anyway, so it's probably okay. Maybe. Alright. I have the opportunity now to just go ahead... Why is the game paused? Go ahead and close those up, as long as nobody gets stuck, but they can just, you know... take the transit route out. Except they can't actually get there. Via transit, okay. Well, don't get stuck. I guess that's my my best advice, is to not get stuck. Okay, now they can't get through here anyway, so problem solved. Alright, now this should be totally fine. We got one thing of... Oh, they can't reach this, of course. Alright, well, that is somewhat easily remedied. Oh, come on, autosave. Somewhat easily remedied by just putting that there, and now they can walk over this way. Cool. So, at long last, this should be, you know, done and dealt with. Not have to worry about it again. How are we looking here? Okay, so we've got that blasted out. Peel this back so we can actually see what's going on. So now we have a 5 wide. That also has a 3 wide down there. I probably should have... probably should have done this slightly differently, but... I'll do that there so I get a couple more edges to, you know, have this come out through this way, and then I think we can safely get this completely filled back in. And then we're going to be in pretty good shape, folks. Okay, so that is blasted out that way, and then I can do this other bit once we get there. There we go. Remember, I only need a 5 wide space to do that. I just have to be able to connect all of this mess in the center here. And I think, what's the center of the thing? Is that 3 blocks up? It looks like it is. So I probably should have, you know, checked to see what will actually fit down here before I really committed to it, but we're about to find out. Detonate. Alright, so that is going to be... See, I got a triple here, I got a triple there, that is 6, and then that reaches... Wow, okay. Not as high as I thought. But what I can do is I can go ahead and I can put one of these framed things way down in there, as long as I have, at this height, right here, 3 blocks up from the bottom, I have this blasted out, and then I have power shaft connecting there, and then I have 1, 2, 3, so that's the top of this. This would be the bottom of the next one. And then this would be the middle of the next one. They can't reach it. What are you doing? Look. Look. we're going to get there. We're going to get there, folks. You got to trust the process. So I will just build those little bits. We have so much wood, it's not a problem at all. They'll be able to get in there, take care of that. This isn't connected to anything anyway, so I have to zoom out or else I'm going to completely lose my mind. That will be just fine. Now, the next thing we have to do is we have to decide what the boundary of the tall part of this is going to be. And I guess, you know, I don't have to have it match perfectly, but that is 99. This is 99 here. I'm going to say, based on how this comes out, I'm going to stop this side probably right about right here. Makes sense to me, so go ahead and just get all of this in place. They can start building up. Of course, you know, all of that is going to just take time. We'll let them do what they got to do. And they will build it at their leisure and no time sooner. So then this just has to get extended out that way. Very, very simply. Nice and easy. This can get filled in to a certain extent, or at least capped. I do have that looking good there. Okay, so now I'm going to pause this so I don't have to listen to that sound. Let's take these out, because this is no longer going to be a necessary thing to have that there. This whole stack gets to go away. Remember that Update 7 has reworked the shafts. Now this says solid. I think the experimental branch, which we are not on, actually the thumbnails I think still say experimental, but we've been on the stable one for quite some time. Oops. But this now says vertical in the experimental, but for now it still says solid, so that's fine. We're just going to go just like that. We'll get that built up. I will have to go ahead and take these out here, but that's fine because, you know, we're still working on it, working on doing what we can do. This is also going to disconnect our path here, but I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue, because the only reason that I had this path here to begin with was to build all of those things. So I'm just going to say, guess what? No more path. No more ladder stack. No more of that. They have a ladder stack here. That's fine. I just have to have these 5 bits dynamited there. That'll be nice and simple. They can come up here and build this. Should be no problems. Just let them do what they got to do. All these planks, we have completely full storage. I'm not going to lose my sleep over getting rid of that. So, is what it is. Totally fine. And we're going to move right along by blasting this out and then building a few of these absolutely fantastic large horizontal framed flywheels. But wait, you don't have any treated planks. You are correct. We don't have any treated planks. But it's okay, because these don't have to be finished immediately. We just have to have these solid power shafts in place. B for boom, not beaver boom, as some of you have, I guess, decided that's what I'm saying. But no, it's B, the letter B, for boom. You can say it's beaver boom if in your head if you want, but that is not what I'm saying. Anyway, B for boom. Blast away. Go ahead, grab all of these flywheels, get that unlocked for 10,000 science. Isn't that the most majestic thing you've ever seen? Isn't it beautiful? And guess what? It still fits underneath totally, totally fine. And they can build all this. No problems. Obviously, there's these other things that have to go in there, like logs and gears, metal blocks, but you know, we have so much of that, it's totally fine. Everything is looking really, really good. So, this is currently disconnected from the path network, which I did not think was possible. Maybe it's because I was deleting stuff. Okay, I must have deleted the path on top of the ladder, because I'm almost certain that was still there. Alright, so that's looking good there. Now this is a zipline pylon, and we don't have a station. Remember what we were saying before. This is 130, so actually 100 would be where the next station would go, but 100 is past where I decided this was going to end. Doesn't really matter that much. I could still have it at the same general height that I was going to have before. It might actually make more sense to do it that way, but you know, we will see what we can get accomplished here. You know what? The last time I built all these walls, I said I was going to do it the right way the next time, and I still haven't come in and done that. So I know people are going to be upset about that. Let's fix that. I have to be able to build from up top with the help of some bridges, among other methods, but the suspension bridge is here, and here will allow us to build almost all of the height that we have to have without having to have these guys go all over the place. Other methods are available as well, but I think that's fine. Wait, has this hole always been here? To go all the way down to... Oh, so it has. Okay. Well, I guess that's, other bad water can leak out that way, I suppose. Alright. Neat. Did not think that was going to be an issue. But, I digress. That's going to go that way, all the way back and forth. Obviously, they can't reach all the way to the end of this. We know that. That's going to be fine. Don't need to stress out about it. And then this, like I said, is going to have space for overhang, but I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue. Just let them do what they got to do, and then we'll bring this over this way. I think, actually, you know what? I don't have to think. I can just test it. Yeah, that will work, but I obviously don't have to have that come all the way out there, nor will it allow me to build it that way because of how this is set up. So that will go out that way, and then we will just bring this. Once this is built, if I place these arrows this way, I could also just turn the arrows. I don't think it matters, but it won't let me build these unless, they got space for it. So that's going to require that we get these guys in here from above or below with the help of some regular platforms. Probably going to be the least painful way to do this, from below with some platforms. So just go ahead and give them the opportunity to do that. Doesn't have to be a big deal. Just build what we can with what we have. This will allow them to build 2 up from there. We can just keep on building more and more of that. But this is all ready to go here. I will have them come out this way to keep building that. How much progress have we made on this? They got everything else but the treated planks. Yep. Absolutely expected that to be what happened there. How are we looking here? Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. Pine trees. Pine trees, pine trees, pine trees. We absolutely have to have more pine trees. But they're not harvesting... They're not harvesting this. I guess they're all prioritizing maple syrup, which, you know, I definitely understand, but, you know, we have other needs also. I have other needs. I think we definitely need to have a 4th one of these. We don't need to have a lumberjack flag. So, I think as slightly ugly as this is going to be, I think it is probably the right call at this point in time to go ahead and put in another little bit of terrain block, and then I'm going to put in a tapper shack and a tapper shack to service more and more of these trees. And how far out does this reach to here? Yeah, okay. Well, tapper shack here is probably going to be better than a kick in the pants, so we'll let them take care of that. Because look at there's the maples here at the very edge. Okay, there's a couple that aren't being dealt with, but we have so many bots. Ignore the fact that it says there's 40-something vacancies. We have an absolutely abhorrent quantity of these builders' huts and all this. It's totally fine. Most of them are deprioritized anyway. All right, so of course that has to be connected with a path. There we go. And now they can finally take, you know, more and more of this stuff. And that's going to be okay. Probably should have planted more of these, but I think it's a little bit late in the playthrough for that. We can always just time-lapse if it becomes an issue. But back over here, we're going to go ahead and... actually, no, I need to build over this way. That is what I said I was going to do. And then I can have them do that mess there without doing any more of this nonsense. And then this section actually only needs to come up one more level. And that lines up quite nicely there. Shouldn't be a big deal at all. Remember, we have so many planks, so much wood. We are doing A-okay with absolutely nothing else we're going to have to answer for. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there. They should have no problems being able to build the rest of this. And then, of course, they have to put a top on this, which should not be an issue either at this same level there. But they can build these vertical walls a lot quicker when they have these bridges in place. And, of course, we can just keep advancing those. We can put in more of this here, just like so. Then continue filling in all of this space as necessary. So that, of course, is going to allow us to do this way, so on and so forth. You know how it goes. And then I can actually... I don't want to build down like that, because that's going to be a problem. So you know what? I probably should decide what I'm doing with the end of this. Obviously, we need to have room for, you know, wherever I decide to put this, what's this thing called? Yeah, that thing. But I don't think that's going to be a problem because the zip line's above the top anyhow. Alright, so that 4 by whatever there, and I think these won't, now they fixed it so where these won't build until the stuff below has been built. I think that's going to be fine. Does it look a little bit ugly? Yes, but it's going to be okay. No, no harm, no foul there. This bit is basically done, which is good, because that means we can have them also come over here and take care of that. Should not be a big deal. Already been there, done that, etc., so on and so forth. That's going to be another bridge situation. I guess I could put it here and here, because you know how this goes. Are they able to reach this? They are. They just haven't gotten to it yet. That's going to help them build all the way across here. Should not be a big deal. Yeah, look at that. Just all the way across. All the way across. Except I'm not going to be able to build this here after this. This has to be done first. So it's just the arrows, man. I know there's a purpose for them, and my brain can't comprehend it. Please don't try to explain it again. So many people have tried, and I still can't understand it. So we're just going to move on. This, thank you, lag. Go ahead and get filled in. There we go. I knew that was going to do some sort of weird thing. Hopefully that plays a little bit nicer. This is still functioning. Obviously, we need to get our metal operation up and running again, which I had kind of wanted to have these done. But obviously, the treated planks are a problem. So, but hey, look, the maple syrup amount is no longer hovering at 10. Now it's hovering at like 20 or 30. Well, at any rate, we can definitely get these all put back in. We're not going to have to worry about having stairs for beavers to get stuck on. That's totally fine. This is now where all the nasty goes out, so, you know, that's fine. I did say I was going to put in ladders here, so hopefully nobody does a stupid here. Let's go ahead and get that. Just like so. There, that'll look a little bit better, at least, when all this filth is gushing forth from the hole. And then this is just going to have to get blocked back in. But anyway, what I was going to get at, these houses need to go away. We don't need that over here. Now we have so much access to all of this space. We can bring power in. We can have it come through here. We can have it come through the wall. I just need to make sure that I have space to put my 6 smelters, and I guess I've got 1, 2 here. You know, I probably could have done a little bit of a better job with this, but I digress. This space is going to be cleared. I'm just going to go ahead and get that blockage out of there. Get this about level with what we can do, and that is going to be that. I'm just going to have to get the power routed through here. Again, this is a whole lot of just, you know, playing catch up with all this other stuff. So, again, do please bear with me there. I'm going to have this be a tunnel for our power shaft, which means we'll peel this back, and then all I have to do is run this. Okay, this doesn't need to be here. I'll just run this here. No problems. Very good. We just have to make sure that the nasty does not stay, or does not make its way down here, which is why we did that. So, for that to be a thing, yeah, I'm just going to say, you know what? Okay, we don't need to keep those planks. All of this right here is how many blocks? Okay, that's actually substantially high. Okay, we had that blocked off 2. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to have to, I really should have thought this through a little bit better. I'm going to have to block this off here. I'll just put in some earth and be done with it as soon as I get rid of all the paths here, of course. Alright, does that, come on, autosave, does that satisfy everything we're trying to do? I really don't want this to overflow, but you know how this tends to go. I'm very hopeful that that is high enough to prevent catastrophe. Obviously, we will see what happens. If it doesn't prevent catastrophe, then, well, it doesn't prevent catastrophe, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Just put in a couple of ladders so they can build that. That should solve this from flooding. This will be ready to go now here. B for boom. I said B for boom. Thank you. Remember, I want to put 6 of these in, so that I guess I could just also start building this. 1, 2, that would be 3 there. That would be 4. That, no, that's only 5. Well, that's probably fine. Probably fine. That would be, that's the 3, that's the 4. This would be 5 here. I don't need to have this path connected anymore. Can definitely get rid of that. Go ahead and take that out. This giant ladder doesn't need to be here anymore, because I'm not planning on having this be accessible ever again. This doesn't need to be here anymore. Good, that didn't mess that up. This stack of ladders certainly doesn't need to be here anymore. That stack of ladders, it doesn't need to be there anymore. So much cleanup. So little time. And here they're coming to grab all the little remnants of everything. I don't think we need to be worried about that. Planks. Okay, not technically completely full, but basically completely full. Let's grab this out. And then I'm going to have this butt up right against the thing here, which honestly, this can move. This can move. This can be in a much better place. Okay, that guy is... Yeah, okay, gonna walk all the way back. That's a trek, sir. Yeah, so we'll just take that out, take that out, take that out. They don't have access via path. Hey, I forgot to blow these up. How long have these been here? 20 episodes? There you go. B for boom. Alright. Before I demolish this, I'm going to build a new one. Just so we don't have any other issues. So if I want it to be a straight line, then I probably... Actually, right here is probably a pretty good spot for that to go. We'll just do that. Let him build that thing. Obviously, we still have to do something with this. Wait a second. Why have they not built... Really? That one was too far? Okay. Well. I guess I'll just put that path in there. That's fine. How are we doing? Okay, we're making progress on this. Not extremely fast, but you know how it goes. Have we at least harvested all of this? We have. Oh, this one's dead. Oh, died to drying out. All right. So, now that we have so much more maple syrup without these being grown... Oh, this is... Alright. So here's what's going to happen. On this side, I'm going to demolish these ungrown... I know. I'm going to have to build the forester again, but we need to have more pines over here. So, hopefully you can understand the position in which we find ourselves. Just got to get a few more pines. Remember, it's only 19 days to get more resin out of here. Honestly, I could probably take another layer. I could probably just take all these out, honestly. How are we looking on... Okay, chestnuts are going down. But the storage for storage for chestnuts is not completely full either. We only have 225 bio-beavers. Decisions. Well, regardless, at this point in time, I feel like I can definitely justify putting these back as, what do you call them? Pine trees. Why can't I never remember what anything's called? And then I can also justify taking out most of these maples on this side. Not all of them. Not all of them. But again, the pines are going to be a little bit more important. So we will do that. Then we will put them back in with another forester. Which, honestly, one of these probably should have been changed over to a forester. But you know how this goes. You know how it goes. I know you know how it goes. We've done this so many times. I almost did it again. Just build the forester. Get these planted. They're not marked for cutting. None of these up here are. That is totally fine. Yeah, I would get rid of these too, but I feel like we just need to do a little bit more maple. Yeah, you know what? Actually, stop changing your mind. Look, you gotta understand how this works. I'm going to take those paths out because, you know, we don't have to use the paths to use the foresters or the tapper shacks. These can become maple trees. That will help solve so many of our problems. This path also doesn't need... How is it just now that I'm figuring out I can do this? These can also be maple trees. So now we've added a lot of maple trees, and I unfortunately have to leave this here because I have to have these additional tapper shacks to help take care of everything. But as soon as they plant all the rest of these pine trees... I mean, this is basically almost doubling the amount of pines we have. That should be more than enough. But we can always take these out. And we're still getting a net increase of the amount of... How in the world did I not know this? Alright. Okay, things have substantially improved over here. That is very good to see. Just have to get these last few bits here taken care of, and they should be ready and able to do that. Up, 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 up. I forgot. And I'm going to pay the price, because I don't have anything else I can do with this. Alright. Get that out of there. Get that connected. Problem solved. Don't need to have water tanks over here. Don't need to have grilled potatoes over here. Don't need to have medical beds at all. Goodbye. Don't need to have a bulletin pole. Goodbye. And now I can put as many of these in here as I want. And I can't reach anything else. So, you know what time it is. B for boom. Don't get blown up. Good job. So that's going to get me my 4. This will be 5. This one will be 6. And that is, you know, it's going to be good enough. But now, oh, how the tables have turned. I'm going to have to put this path back in so they can put in a little bit more of the triple dynamite. Get that in here, Get that out of there. That gets to be a double. And then these will be a single just as soon as that's taken out. Thank you, autosave. This is no longer necessary as a ladder. And then we probably don't need to have this here either. We can just get this whole thing slightly reorganized. But I think everything's going to be totally fine because, you know, we have the zipline station here. That's fine. This one... Wait, hold on. Oh, it's at 98. I said 100 was where this other one had to be, so that will go there. And then guess what? I think it's going to connect to this one. I love it when a plan comes together. Time for more boom. Don't you love just how angular that is? Very natural formations, these. Alright. So that will get us back to our original strength of 6 of these things going 24/7, 365, if that's even how beavers observe time. Which I don't think has ever really been established, but... Now they can work on that. We obviously still do not have any treated planks going in here, but let's check and see in our Tower of Doom. Okay, we need another 203 treated planks, which will be coming at the speed of smell if the person in question has no sense of smell. That is to say, very, very slowly. But we are making tremendous progress, planting some additional trees here. Very, very good to see that. And I believe... we're probably going to have to time-lapse at some point. But I do want to get the rest of this taken care of. I said 100, which the middle of that is here. So these are now no longer necessary. This has to be at the same height because this is connected here. So there's going to be a little bit of funny business happening here. But I think it's going to be totally fine. I'm going to leave that here. It's going to look a little weird, but bear with me here. Bear with me here. This has to go in this spot, which I'm just leaving this here because it's going to look slightly better. I can put in, I believe, just like this, kind of stair-step it down, and then this should connect. Look at that, folks. Look at that. It's beautiful. And then that connects there. And that will not, not technically complete the loop around, but don't forget, we have other options, folks. We have so many other options here. In fact, I'm so excited about this that I forgot exactly what I was going to say. But we're gonna get this taken care of. Yeah. Let's put these here. I'm gonna have to have space just like that. 5 wide. How did I build this over here? Oh, thank you, autosave. Yes. Just like so. B for boom. And I only have to put a tunnel on this side. I love it when a plan comes together. I really do. I really, sincerely do. It's an absolute thing of beauty. Just pop this in here. Which then means this guy can get connected. Oh, it's too far. Okay, well, that's easily solved. That is easily solved. But then that would actually fully complete side to side, except this is, you know, actually... Oh, of course this isn't connected. It's 118 meters. How has this already been going for an hour? I am beside myself with grief, because now I'm gonna have to cut this short. Okay. This is not gonna let me do what I want. That's okay. That's still 100. Good. That's 99. See, I was hoping I wouldn't have to get into this, but I don't think I'm going to need to have these here ever again. So, famous last words, right? Get rid of that, just to make this look slightly less terrible. Pick up the pieces and throw them in the trash because nobody cares. And, yeah, we're never going to open this. That then means I can get rid of these. I can get rid of... Come on. Get rid of those. And yeah, they're not working in this thing anyway, so who cares? Just get rid of this. And now, the moment absolutely none of you have been waiting for, I'll be able to put this in... I guess technically all of you are waiting for, because you're captive audiences. That's going to go there, that's going to go there, and then finally, this is looking tremendous, or in some way, shape, or form, is looking tolerable. Cool, cool, cool. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to at least some degree to make this look not completely stupid. And I'm going to have this path, because, of course, they all have to connect to a path. I'm going to have this kind of built out of the side of the thing here. Just build this straight the way up like so. Just make things look a little bit nicer, and then put in a staircase, because you know we've used enough ladders here. I miscalculated. Hold on. That needs to be fixed. I think that's still going to be fine if I get rid of that. So, that will be a-okay there. I just have to make sure this has adequate space behind it. Looks like it's good. There we go. There we go. That gets connected there. And then, of course, we continue connecting around this side. Boy, have we gotten a lot of stuff done in this episode, and boy, have we still not gotten enough done. Yeah, remember when I said, oh, yeah, this is going to be done by episode 40? No, it's not. No, it's not. It was never going to be done by episode 40. But I didn't believe myself. Always believe in yourself, unless you're being dumb. All right. Enough asides aside. This is now connected all the way across, which is another one of those projects I wanted to do. Looking, you know, it's looking fine. It's looking about as good as you can expect. Lag. Honestly, it's astounding I'm still getting 60 to 70 FPS most of the time with this. Pretty impressed. But now we don't have a lot of biofuel. We need to check on that, and then I need to end this episode or it's going to be super, super long forever. So I'm pretty sure I've got this one making catalyst, which of course has to have maple syrup and extract. This one making catalyst, this one making catalyst, this one making biofuel from Spatterdock, which I do have. And I do have... These are not prioritized by haulers. Okay. Well, let's fix that problem. We have enough of them. So, I believe none of these are prioritized. If everything's prioritized, then nothing is. Yes, I know, but it stops these guys from having to go out and get ingredients. Ideally. Also, we have 400 bots. It's totally fine. So that hopefully is going to help that number stop going down so much. It has been gradually going down this entire time, and I hadn't even noticed. Or I could just build another refinery and just be done with it. Which, honestly, is probably the correct way to go about doing this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to explode those. We're going to put in 2 more medium warehouses here, and then on top of those, I'm going to put all the refineries. And then all we have to do is put in a stairway. Okay, that's... I have to make sure. First, shut off the Led Zeppelin playing in my head currently, and then I have to make sure this is actually lined up. So that's going to work out tremendously well. And now we will have a lot more capacity for Spatterdock, and we'll have a lot more capacity for making biofuel. Thank you, autosave, from our refinery here. Not catalyst. No. I need to set this for Spatterdock. I'm pretty sure we still have tons that has not been harvested. Let's consult. Yes, we have so much more Spatterdock than we can even hope to use. So that's progressing nicely. These trees are grown in. Very, very, very good. Now they just have to start making some more maple syrup. These, of course, are still making more resin. This, of course, is still waiting on... Oh, actually, only 76. Very good. Okay, man. Okay, I technically closed this in. But we also technically don't know... Well, not technically, we literally don't know if this bad water diversion relocation is going to cause devastation across Beaver Nation. Don't know why I got Team Rocket in my head now, but... I digress severely. Let's go ahead and just... oh boy, I'm gonna have to end this sooner. I'm gonna just completely lose my mind. But let's connect this here. Leave a space there. Just bring this right the way across that way. Put in another staircase. Should be fine. Let them take care of that. And man, I hate that I don't get everything done that I want to get done. It makes me feel bad, but we've still got a lot of cool stuff accomplished today. Solved some problems. Got most of the way done. With the Earth Recultivator, still have a little bit to go, but of course, we've already talked about why that's the case. We've solved this problem that was not a problem, and then I created a problem to solve the problem that caused another problem to have to be created to solve a different problem, and then I think we solved everything, so we should be alright. These trees, for some reason, are not irrigated adequately. And now, see, here I go again. If I were to build a tunnel through here, but not all the way through the cliff face, would the irrigation from inside the tunnel keep these... I have to know. I have to know. Yes, I'd want it to go out to about there. So let's... Okay, I don't want it to break... Oh, that's already high. Okay, so if I do 10... How far does that take me? How far out? Oh, perfect. So that would get water in here, basically always. And I wonder if that would irrigate this. Someone who has, you know, 1,150 some hours in the game should know. But astoundingly, this one doesn't. So I'm just going to have to beg for your forgiveness once again, like I seem to do basically every episode of any of these series, and just figure it out. So I'm not going to sit here and wait for them to do that. We're going to find out next episode, I guess, if that works. But folks, we well and truly do need to go ahead and end this episode, or I'm going to completely lose my mind. We solved so many problems today. Improved so many things. How do you feel about like the kind of stair-stepped thing with this here? Do you like this? Do you think it looks dumb? Just let me know, because I want this to be something everyone can appreciate, be proud of. All the collective effort of ideas, because, you know, if I was doing this by myself, this would not be looking like this. I would never come up with half of this stuff. But I really do appreciate you guys watching these videos. Beard Boosters appreciate supporting the videos, supporting me directly, making it possible for me to keep doing every single day silly beaver videos, except Sundays when we play with the roller coasters. But I really, truly do appreciate, and I'm very thankful for that support. That makes it possible for me to keep doing this, and also not to do sponsorships and stuff. You really don't want to be messing with it. Just want to have a good time playing games, being a nice, usually mostly positive, supportive environment. until things go wrong, and then you guys set me on the right path and we're fine anyway. But I digress. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun. We'll be back in this series next week. And of course, we have other fun with the water beavers and the iron teeth coming soon as well. But yeah, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.